Hey guys, welcome. For today's practice, we're going to start a little bit slower and then move into a little bit more dynamic flow movement, really with the effort of trying to find the balance on both sides of that. We're going to start with some seated poses. So if you like to have something to sit on, I'm sitting on a folded blanket. You could also use the edge of a throw pillow, sometimes works well. Just so it feels like your hips want a little height when you sit down. If you have a block or two handy, you can have them nearby. Otherwise, we just work around all that. All right, so we're going to start with soles of the feet together, knees out wide in butterfly and Baddha Konasana. And you can explore a little bit here. Sometimes it feels really different whether you move your heels further away or whether you allow your heels to slide in a little bit closer to the pelvis. Right? And so if you're someone whose knees sit way up high, you could slide blocks or even a couple other throw pillows up underneath your thighs. And then you might just stay seated like this, right? If you have a little bit more space, you can let your knees rest down. And let's just take a moment before we fold and get grounded. So go ahead and close or soften your eyes. And just feel where your sitting bones are. Can you let the pelvis tilt forward enough that it feels like you start to come up onto the sitting bones? And there's that little bit of curve in the low back. And if the back does tend to round a lot, that's sometimes where it's nice to lift the hips just a little bit. And lengthen up through your spine. Let your shoulders drop back and down. And then just bring your attention to your breath. See if you can, just to start with, find a nice, steady, even rhythm of your breath. It doesn't have to be the biggest dynamic movement. Just find the place that feels steady. It can be a nice way just to shift your attention to your practice, to what's happening inside. And then just depending on the sensation in your body, you might choose to stay sitting up tall. Right? For many of us, this is plenty of stretch. Or you could start to walk your upper body forward. See if you can keep that length in your spine as you come forward. So you might come forward just a little bit and rest on your hands. If you have a little bit more room, you might stack blocks and come forward. Right? But again, just in that effort of maintaining a little bit of the length in your spine as you come forward and fold. So we're not just coming right into that rounding of the low back. And then gently press your feet together. Press down into the pinky edges of your feet. And keep your sitting bones anchoring back and down. And then just take a few breaths like this. All right, so we'll almost be starting out in a yin style of practice, or a little bit longer holds, but not quite as yin as we might normally, right? So we'll find a little bit of engagement for support, and we won't hold quite as long, but yet there's a little bit of softness, maybe through your upper body or your eyes, or even through your breath. Good. And then you can use your hands for support if you're folded forward. Come all the way back up. Good. Set your blocks to the side if you're using those. And then you can keep your legs in butterfly, but if you're on the blanket, go ahead, just scoot forward for a moment. Leave it there. We're going to use it again. And then fold your left leg back. And you can bring your right shin a little bit more parallel. Play here at the angles of the knees and the hips, see what works for you. And then turn over to your left, right? Nope, sorry, to your right. And then you're going to press a little bit more into your right hand and twist back so that your right ribs roll back. And so again, some options, you might stay pretty upright here. This might be plenty in the hips and the twist, or you might come down onto your forearms. You might bring your hands, your forehead to your hands. Right, so worry less about the exact alignment of the pose here. We'll take that side from yin. And find the place that your body feels supported, where there's a little sensation but you're not pushing too far. And so just starting to warm up the tissues, get into some of the different ranges of motion. And to find a little bit of engagement here, press down into the edges of your legs that are touching the mat. Roll your right ribs back, left ribs down. And just like we did before in the forward fold, stay extended out through your spine. And then soften chest and belly towards the ground. Take a couple breaths. And with your inhale, come all the way back up. Bring the soles of your feet together and just pause for a breath here at center. And nice to let the spine unwind. Also just to notice what you feel from doing one side of the pose. And then we'll shift right leg back, left shin a little bit more towards parallel, and then shift out over your left leg. I like to take my hands here about shoulder width apart, and then pause. Press down a little bit more into the right hand, and as you do that, or into the left hand, rights and lefts, the left ribs will roll back a little bit more. And then just see how sensation is there. Do you want to stay? Or do you want to come down onto your forearms? Or maybe even all the way down, head to your hands. And root down through your legs, long through your spine. But then allow a little softness through the upper body. When we think about that, when we think about the traditional yin-yang symbol, that even within the yin, there's a little dot of the yang, right, of the dynamic of the energetic, and vice versa. Even within the yang, there's that little spot of the yin, of the softening. And so how, when we use those practices, can we find that little bit of balance, right? That doesn't have to be all yin or all yang, that there's always a little bit of balance within. And with your inhale, come all the way back up. Bring the soles of your feet together. Sit tall. Take a breath. And then we'll do one more forward fold. So if you liked having the blanket or pillow underneath your hips for support, do that. Stretch your legs out long. Flex your feet. So you're going to curl your toes back towards your body. And then just notice where your pelvis is. Can you roll the bowl of the pelvis forward enough so it feels like there's a little bit of curve in the low back? And with your inhale, reach both arms up. Keep your spine long. Exhale, fold forward. Right? And so forward for you might be an inch or two. You might walk your hands about halfway, or you might come all the way down, belly towards thigh. Right. Wherever you land, keep your legs strong. So draw your toes back. Roll your inner thighs down towards the mat. And then stretch the crown of your head up or forward towards your toes, whatever that lengthening direction is. And then just see what your breath is doing here. Can you find that even place, inhale and exhale? Maybe it's starting to get a little fuller, a little bit longer, but don't push it. And then just take a few more breaths. We often do forward folds at the end of practice, so you might notice a little different range of motion here at the beginning. That's okay. Just listen to where your body's at, make those adjustments within the pose. And so that you're not pushing beyond that edge, just meeting your body where it's at as you begin. And you can use your hands for support. Come all the way back up. And then one more time, just slide off of your pillow or blanket if you're using that for support. And then this time you're going to cross your right leg over your left. And you have a couple options here. You can keep your bottom leg straight, or you can tuck it back to see what feels right for you. And then take your right hand behind you. Inhale, reach your left arm up. And then exhale, twist. You can either wrap your arm in front. You might take your elbow to your outer thigh, see what feels better in your body today. Again, not forcing. And then really root down into your seat. So let the sitting bones get heavy. As you inhale, lengthen up through your spine. And then exhale, twist. Roll your back ribs back. You can do that with each breath. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twist. And again, just moving slowly, finding where that little bit of sensation is. And so it's starting to feel effective. You're working to the range of motion, but you're not forcing it. Check in with your breath here. Sometimes in twists, when the belly gets compressed, feels like there's a little less room. You might even think about breathing more towards the back of the body. If that's new for you, just give it a try, see what it feels like. And with your next inhale, come back to center. Good. Stretch both legs out long. Just take a breath at center. Let our spine come back to neutral. And then switch sides. Left foot on top. Right, either bottom leg straight or tuck your heel back. Take your left hand behind you. Inhale, right arm up. So sit tall, lengthen the spine here, and then twist. Hand wrapped around, elbow to your outer thigh, see what feels good. And then just really let the seat drop so it feels heavy and grounded and connected. From there, lengthen up through your spine again. And then twist. Draw your left ribs back, left shoulder back. Right? And you might even get into the twist a couple times like that with your breath. Lengthen up, inhale. Twist, exhale. And find that evenness of breath here. Breathe into where it feels like there's some space in the body. Sometimes interesting to start to notice range of motion, one side versus the other. We're not always in balance, one side to the other. Take another full breath. And then with your inhale, unwind, unwrap your legs. Nice. Let's come to all fours to tabletop pose. Can move any props out of the way for now. If you have blocks, sometimes it's just nice to have them handy up at the front of the mat. Stack your shoulders right over your wrists, your hips over your knees, and then fan your fingers out wide so there's lots of space, and root down through your fingertips. Start to move a little bit with breath here. As you inhale, arch your back, look forward, cow pose. And as you exhale, round through your back, draw your chin towards your chest, cat pose. And start to find the rhythm of your breath that works. Inhale, come forward, stay rooting and pressing through your hands. And then even as you exhale, you can really press down, shoulders to hands, draw your chin up, round through your back. Good. A few times like that with your breath. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, round. Good. Come forward, inhale. And so if at any point your breath rhythm is different from my cues, that's fine. Just listen to where your breath is at. Again, just finding that steady rhythm. And balance out the inhale and exhale also really helps us to balance out that yin and yang energy in the body. Good. And then after your next cat pose, whenever you're done, come back to neutral. Find a little tone through the low belly. See that there's still a little bit of that natural curve in the low back. And then keep your hips here high and lifted. Just walk your hands forward, heart melting pose. So your forehead might come to the mat. You might also slide a block or a pillow underneath your forehead. See where you need a little bit of support. You can either take your hands straight forward, or maybe they even come a little bit wider, like a V shape. Sometimes that gives the shoulders a little bit more space. But maintain that support in the belly. That's nice for the low back here. Keep pressing down into your hands. Roll the eyes of your elbows up. But see if you can find a little softness through your chest as it melts down towards the mat. Just towards. Take a few breaths. And walk your hands back. Tabletop one more time. This time, take your knees just a little bit wider. Untuck your toes and bring the inner edges of your toes, your big toes, together. Okay, and then as you inhale again, look forward, cow pose. As you exhale, round into your back, come through cat, but come all the way back, hips to heels, child's pose. And we'll just move like that with breath. Inhale, come forward, arch your back, look forward, and keep your hands strong for support there. And then exhale, round your back, hips to heels, come all the way back. And inhale, come forward, arch your back, look forward, press into your hands. Exhale, round your back, draw your chin in, send your hips back. And do one more like that with your breath. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, round and come back. This time stay a couple breaths. You might scoot your hands forward a little bit. Bring your forehead to mat or block. Take 2 full breaths. Hips heavy. Hands still firm and connected so the arms are supported. Good. And then press into your hand, lift your hips up and back, down dog. Right, so from that slow start, starting to find even a little bit more muscle engagement now. Just like the tabletop, keep your hands spread wide, press into your fingertips. And then feel like you could press your hands down and forward, send your hips high and back. Knees might have a little bend. Heels might be lifted or touching the mat wherever your body is today. And with your inhale, just lift up high onto the balls of your feet. Exhale, take a deep bend into your knees. Pause. Lift your hips up. All right, so sitting bones, I should really say tilt sitting bones up, press hands down. Good. Lengthen, straighten your legs. Inhale. Send your heels back down towards the mat. Exhale. Good. So one more time. Inhale, lift up high. Exhale, deep, deep bend into the knees. And then as you tilt the sitting bones up, can you feel a little bit more curve into the low back? Good. Inhale, lengthen through legs, straighten. Exhale, heels down towards your mat. Good. And then in little steps, walk yourself forward all the way front of your mat. Feet can be hip width apart or big toes together, see what feels comfortable. Bring your hands to your hips and press down into your feet. And with a long spine, come all the way up to standing. Good. Exhale, bring your hands together at your heart. Take a moment, find your breath rhythm here. Right? So that same steady rhythm of breath on your inhale and exhale. And then press strongly down into your feet. Lift up through the low belly for support. And let your shoulders soften back and down. You can even give a little squeeze in between shoulder blades. Good. So we'll move into some half sun salutations and then sun salutation variations, but maybe giving ourselves a little bit more space with the breath to start in that effort of just finding a little more yin as we move into the dynamic. Inhale, reach both arms up. And then as you exhale, fold all the way forward. Again, knees might be straight or bent. With your inhale, lift and lengthen halfway and then pause. All right, hands to mat or shins or thighs. Root down through your feet, tone through your belly, and hug your shoulder blades onto your back. Full breath in. And then exhale, fold again. Inhale, strong legs come all the way up, reach up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Follow your breath rhythm. Reach up, inhale. Right, hinge, fold forward, exhale. Keep that same length in the spine like we did in seated forward folds. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway, so spine parallel to the ground. Exhale, press down into your feet. Inhale, lengthen the crown of your head forward, open up through your chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. All right, let's do one more like that. Reach up, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, root, press down hips to feet. Inhale, lift through your belly, open through your chest. And then exhale, keep that, but fold back in. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, let's add on from there. Reach up, inhale. Hinge, fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. This time, fold back in on your exhale. Plant your hands, strong hands, just like down dog. Step back, high plank. Let's stay here, extra breath. Inhale. Hold for your exhale, tone the low belly. You can always bring knees down for support too. Full breath in. And then with your exhale, either with bent knees or straight legs, lower all the way down. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lift up, head, chest, shoulders, cobra. Press through the top of your feet. Stay for your exhale. Lengthen your tailbone back. From the strength of your back, inhale, lift up just a hair higher. Exhale, lower all the way down. Stretch back, down dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, lift to your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, walk, step, or hop front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Right, strong legs, so press down into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Okay, keep moving with breath. Reach up, inhale. Start slow, then flow. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale, plant hands, step back, plank. You can alternate the foot that you step back with. Take a breath in, tone through belly, strong legs. Stay for your exhale, press down into your hands. Inhale, stretch the crown of your head forward. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Good, cobra pose. Inhale, press into the tops of your feet, float through your upper body. Exhale, lower down, stretch back, down dog. Take a full breath. Inhale to toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, walk, step, or hop front of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Good. One more like that, just one breath per movement. Reach up, inhale. Fold, exhale. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold, hands down. Step back, plank. All right, this time just one breath in. And with your exhale, come all the way down like we did, or lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, come through, cobra, maybe upward facing dog if that's in your practice and you feel ready. And then exhale, up and back, down dog. Right, sometimes we go through up dog with a little bit more alignment. Today, I would say use it just if you know it, if you're comfortable with it. Inhale, lift to toes. Exhale, bend knees, look forward, walk, step, or hop. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Find your breath rhythm. Come all the way up, inhale. Hands to heart, exhale. Now take one full breath, reset the rhythm. Right, so moving one breath per rhythm doesn't have to be, or one breath per movement. Doesn't have to be fast. You slow down the rhythm of the breath, can slow down the movement. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back, chair pose. Settle the weight back to your heels. Hug your inner legs in. Reach up through your hands. Good. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, fold. Half lift, inhale. Fold, exhale, step your right foot back. Come up high on the ball of your foot. You can even take your feet a little bit wider. Inhale, come all the way up, crescent lunge. Exhale, sweep your hands back. Lift your chest forward. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step back, plank. Full breath in. Right, and then exhale, lower. You can either come chaturanga or all the way down. Cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, lower down. Stretch back, down dog. Right, and you can always skip them if the vinyasa starts to feel like a lot. You can hold plank or just come right to down dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step all the way through. Crescent lunge. Inhale, stretch both arms up. Exhale, sweep your arms back. Right, so airplane arms, chest forward. Think legs strong. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands down to your mat. Step back, plank. Inhale here. Exhale, halfway or all the way to your mat. Cobra or upward facing dog. Inhale. Up and back, down dog. Exhale. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, lift to your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Walk, step, or hop front of your mat. Halfway lift, lengthen, inhale. Fold, exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms up, chair pose, Utkatasana. Take a breath, settle hips back, legs strong. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. One more variation. Reach arms up, inhale. Bend your knees, sit back, chair pose, exhale. Full breath in, lift your upper body. Exhale, settle, sink your hips, bend your knees. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale, step your left foot back. This time, turn and plant your back heel. And so set up those warrior two legs, heel to heel alignment. And with your inhale, come all the way up, warrior two. Right, so even moving with breath, just take a moment to check your foundation. Front knee over your ankle. Can slide your back heel back just a little. And then squeeze your heels towards one another. Good, full breath in, turn your front palm up. And then exhale, reverse, reach your top arm up and back. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, reverse, nice and slow with your breath. Inhale, center. Exhale, reverse. Good, back through center, inhale, this time straighten your front leg. And then exhale, hinge forward, come down, triangle. I always love a block and triangle. You can also just bring your hand to your shin if you want a little bit more height. Squeeze heels in. Press down into your feet. Take a full breath in. And with your exhale, bend your top elbow, kind of like a cactus arm. Draw your shoulder back to open your chest. It might just be a little bend. Inhale, reach up, stay pressing through your feet. Exhale, cactus bend. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach your top arm up, and then exhale, both hands down to your mat. Step back, high plank. Full breath in. Right, and then you can either stay or come through the vinyasa. Sometimes just holding in plank feels good. Sometimes moving with breath. When you're ready, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Turn and plant your back heel, and then again, come up, warrior two on the second side. And set up your legs so they feel steady so you can move your upper body. Front knee over ankle. A little space in the back hip so you can turn the heel back just a little bit. Good. Squeeze your inner legs together. Turn your front palm up, inhale. Reverse exhale. So you can do backhand down the thigh, you could wrap it around. Inhale, nice and slow breath, slow movement. Come back to center. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, center. Last time, reverse, exhale. Keep the legs strong, support the upper body. Inhale, come to center, straighten the front leg. Exhale, hinge forward, come down, triangle. And take a moment to anchor through your legs and your feet. Spread out wide through your arms, inhale. And then a little cactus, hug the shoulder blade in, roll the chest up, exhale. And not move a huge amount, we're just opening the chest and shoulder there. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend the elbow. Good, stretch up, inhale. Circle down to your mat, exhale. All right, last one, come through that vinyasa. Inhale. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Cobra pose or upward facing dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Full breath in. Good, bring your knees down, child's pose as you exhale. And then just allow your body to soften. Let go of the engagement. Let the weight of the body get a little heavier. And settle back a little bit more into the yin feeling of the body. Smooth out your breath. And then walk your hands back. Find a seat. So whatever feels comfortable, you can take a cross-legged seat. You could sit a block between your heels and sit up, whatever feels right for you. And then bring your hands to your thighs. Right, so if things are still feeling a little, breath is moving fast, body's feeling dynamic, try hands down. If you're still feeling maybe a little tired or lethargic, you can do hands up for energy. Settle your hips back, lengthen your spine. Soften your shoulders. And see if you can return to that place where the breath feels even on your inhale and exhale. Oftentimes when we're in that more dynamic movement, the inhale part of the breath gets longer, right? We're working hard for oxygenating the tissues. And ideally, when we soften a little bit more, the exhale gets longer, helps to settle the nervous system. Right now, we're looking for that sweet spot in between the two. Eyes can be soft or closed. If you can find the place with your breath that feels full, but you're not forcing. I'm going to take just about 5 more breaths here. If you want to sit for a little bit longer, finding a bit of a seated meditation and breath work longer at the end of the practice, please feel free to do that. If you're ready to end, bring your hands together at your heart. And take a breath in, lift your heart to your hands. And as you exhale, bow in, head to heart. Thank you guys so much, as always, for sharing the practice. Namaste.